Welcome to the Rapport Advantage podcast, transforming the way leaders communicate. Here's your host, human behavior expert and professional speaker, Alex Swire-Clark.
I'm Pep Strebeck, and this is my partner, Joe Friday. How are you, Joe?
I'm good. Just the facts, though, sir.
Oh, sorry. No pleasantries. Very good. All right. Well, welcome to the show. No pleasantries allowed today on this high C focused podcast. Welcome to the Rapport Advantage podcast. If you haven't listened to our podcast before, stop the presses. Go back to episodes 2 through 6 and listen to those. Those will give you that DISC foundational knowledge that is so critical to what we do here on the show. And you know, if you have been listening, and you KG listeners, you know who you are. We are here to help you break down the walls of miscommunication, increase your emotional intelligence, and build better relationships in the workplace and beyond. Come on, crowd. The crowd was late. I mean, they were expecting more. That's all. It's a high C show. We're not giving you all these crazy stuff. It's just, it is what it is. So deal with it. I am Alex Swire-Clark, CEO, speaker, and emotional intelligence expert.
And I'm Liz Parker, certified behavioral analyst. I do job benchmarking and a strategic growth consultant.
Excellent. This show is all about you, the people. Give us your feedback and input. You can find us on Facebook at The Rapport Advantage, on Twitter at Rapport Podcast, or visit the website at rapportadvantage.com. We have our Facebook live streaming going on from time to time, depending on my work schedule when I'm not speaking to clients. Obviously, those folks have to take precedent. Nothing against you guys, but they are kind of paying the bills, so I've got to make sure I'm taking time to be with them. When we are not doing that, we try to schedule those on Thursdays, sometime between 11:30 and 12:30, so be on the lookout for that. If you're in the Facebook group, you'll see those. Today's topic, we're finishing our 4-part series on driving forces behind the sale for each personality style. And so today we're finishing up with our selling to high Cs. What are the driving forces for high Cs in terms of a sales situation, and how do you cater to them to most effectively get that yes and move that sale forward to a close? First one today, Liz, is give a complete presentation and explain details. I got nothing. It's a high I. I'm just totally lost. No, we totally get and understand this from a high C standpoint. And what we're talking about here is you want to make sure that you cover everything in the presentation that you need to and leave no stone unturned. So you want to anticipate any questions that are going to come. And in fact, sometimes a little trick that you can do is you can say, well, when I've given this presentation in the past, I've been asked ... because those high Cs are not going to come up when you say, well, any questions so far? You're not going to get any feedback. So you can throw that in there and say, well, in the past when I made this presentation to other organizations, a question I often get is blah. And then you're going to explain that out, give them details, and answer their questions before they ask them.
That's true. And they will stay quiet unless, of course, you've given Ron facts, and they are right there in your face to tell you differently.
Absolutely. Which is point 2.
It is point 2. So you want to set an environment of trust first. And in order to build trust with a high C, you definitely need to use facts to support whatever you are talking about. If you are just being your typical high I self, like myself, and I'm just saying, oh, yeah, no, this is exactly how it works. I know it works. Oh, trust me, this is how it works. Not going to work. You need to be able to say, based on previous presentations, if we use our first example, our other clients have found that they get a 75% increase in this kind of rate of hiring, or whatever you happen to be talking about. But make sure that whatever you're doing does have some facts for them to look at, for them to take away, making sure that as you talk about that, you're checking in with them and saying, have you heard the same information? And let them have time to tell you if they've seen different data. Maybe they've had different data than you have, and that allows you a wonderful conversation of data.
Indeed. When I'm speaking to organizations and we start talking about how to improve their communication, we start bringing up reports from various resources, and I'll put them in my PowerPoint that says, okay, this survey back in 2017 showed X about Y. And then I'll put down at the bottom the website that I took it from. So they can go back and actually look more into the article and dig really deeply in those facts to make sure that I'm legit. But if I don't do that from the beginning and I just start, throwing candy around the room or say, did you hear that joke about the whatever, then they're like, oh, this guy's just a joker. He's not going to bring us anything legitimate. And so for those, again, we've talked about this before on other episodes, for those folks on the right side of the graph, those I's and the S's, they have to like you before they trust you. D's and C's have to trust you before they like you. And the way that you do that is through facts. Go for the facts first, go for the facts early, and get them on board in terms of, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. That's logical. Okay, I can get on board with that. So not the, hey, did you hear the one about the Eagles fan? Nothing like that. That's not going to win you.
Logical. You hit the key, and that, I think, helps you look at number 3.
That's right. And the number 3 is do not hard sell. The facts will do it for you, people. And that's what a lot of our aggressive D's and I's in those sales situations don't understand when they're working with C's. Those facts will sell. If your product does what it's supposed to do and you can prove it with the numbers and here's the research and all that, just open it up and just let that speak for you. And then just sit back and watch. Their little face is going to be frowning like, and they're a little cognitive. The wheels are spinning and like, pa-bing. You're right. This does make sense. This probably could add 12.6% to our bottom line. And chapow.
And the D's and I's are usually frustrated because they want to make it more about themselves than it is the facts. And if they would just step out of the way and do what the product or the services will do and tell them that, it is an easy sell when you do it that way.
Yeah, they want to make it, hey, buy this product. It's going to be great. You'll have the fan.
Oh, my gosh, that voice, you just automatically can go there. Well, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's what D's and I's want to do in that product situation. They want to bling it up. They want to make it all fancy and C's like, dude, land your plane. And let's talk about what this is going to do and why this is going to be a good fit for our organization. Again, they always go back to that question, why?
That was a perfect example of the two differences, because what's happening in number 4 is you're trying to find ways to minimize risk for these guys. And you just did it. When you have that loud, salesy person, there is huge risk in going with them. So as you calm your voice down, as you show the facts, you are doing all those behaviors that really do help the C see that this is a serious decision. And they look at their decisions as very serious. They're very reluctant to make them if they can't meet all the criteria that's in their head. So to find ways to minimize risk for them is really asking them, hey, what's your decision criteria? As you look at this, how can we make sure that we satisfy what's in your head so that we can minimize those steps of risk? So as we do that, that's the key to really selling those high C's, is talking in a very low, logical voice, making sure that you have the facts and not doing, and I can't even imitate how you do it, but you do it so beautifully when you go there.
From that standpoint, the D's and I's can use those people skills, can use that humor to later on into the process increase what the trust level that they've already gotten. But you've got to be muted with your gestures. You've got to be muted with your voice. And so you've got to meet them where they are. And that goes back to a little bit of mirroring, which is a sales technique that's taught a lot. You want to mirror the folks around you. If they're speaking softly, you want to speak a little softer. If they're not using their hands a lot, you don't want to use your hands a lot. And so at that point, we're just really slowing down the language, really slowing down to give them a chance to think, because they're going to be thinky as opposed to all that insanity. That'll come later. I promise. You'll get to show off and, do your dog and pony show. But at that beginning step, you got to slow it down and meet them where they are. And that's one of those keys to, to reading people, which we've talked about in previous episodes.
Wow, that was very well done.
Number 5 on that list is emphasize losses caused by delays. So you want to make sure that you let them know, hey, if you don't go with this product or service, your bottom line net margin is going to be 22%. Great, but you could be at 32%, and your competitors are going to be going with that. So that's going to increase their bottom line and going to make them have more money available for marketing and budgeting and so forth and things like that. So I'm not hard selling it. I'm just telling you the facts. 7 out of the 10 major competitors you have gone with this product already. Here's the results they're seeing. I'll let you decide, what you want to do with those facts. And just lay it out there.
And, when we talk about one of our previous episodes was looking at the fact that their fear is fear of being wrong. And that's why you have to help them see what those delays are, because they are afraid to make the decision. And if they keep waiting, they could have some big losses. So I see exactly how that fits in there with one of those previous episodes. And if I can think of which one it was, I would tell you the number, but you'll have to listen to them all.
23, maybe.
Wow.
I have no idea. I'm just throwing a random number out there.
So that takes you to the last one then. You take that last one because you just said that.
That's right. So last point is do not overpromise. The last thing that you want to do is overpromise and underdeliver to a high C, because then you've just totally blown their trust. So what you want to do is make sure that you lay out the facts. Here's what we know this product will do. And here's the tests we've done. Here's the research that's been done. If you're in pharmacy, here's the efficacy of the different, results we've done from the case studies and from all of the trials and everything else like that. And lay it out there. And if that's good enough for them, it's good enough for them. And if it's not, you're not going to convince them with any other bells and whistles and dog and pony and, woohoo, and rah-rah, sis, boom, bah, and hey, let's go have drinks. That's just not going to work. It's all about what's it going to do. So tell them exactly what it's going to do. Don't give them any more. Don't give them any less. Just give them the information as you have it. And you can show them potentials. You can show pro formas and projections and things like that from previous experiences. But don't give them any more than what it's designed to do. Because then the moment it doesn't, then they're going to come back to you and say, hey, Alex, you said it was going to do this, and it doesn't. Why should I ever do business with you again? You basically broke our trust.
There you go. And so that is a big caution to the high eyes, because we live in this very optimistic world. And it is important that you do not behave that way in front of a high C, because you're exactly right. That trust will be broken before it even gets started. So high eyes, caution.
Busted.
That's right, eyes. We're talking about you. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for this Selling to a High C Driving Forces episode. I'd like to thank Liz Parker for being with me today. Liz, how can folks get in touch with you?
They can email me at liz@ltresults.com or visit my website at ltresults.com.
It's such a nice little website over there with all your pretty red themes that you got going on, your branding. It's so pretty.
Thank you.
They can join me and us on our Facebook group. They can head over to Facebook and search the Rapport Advantage podcast. Just click to join. Got some great questions and feedback over there. We also do our Facebook Live events over there on the channel. On our next podcast, we're going to dive into more emotional intelligence topics. We've got another 4-part series lined up for you. I'm not going to tell you what that's all about, so you got to stay tuned and come back for episode number 50. That's right.
Oh, my gosh.
It'll be episode 50 on that start to that next series. So we're excited about it and can't wait to bring it to you.
Bye-bye. Oh, sorry. Is that too soon?
So thanks for joining us, and cue.
Now, bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Rapport Advantage podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Join the conversation on Facebook at the Rapport Advantage and follow us on Twitter at Rapport Podcast.